Hey everybody, what's going on? Eric here. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Mine was a little rough. Had a sick kid since Thursday and took her to the doctor's office yesterday. Finally was able to get in. And she ended up possibly having a strep throat. We don't know that for sure. It's kind of one of those pain in the asses. You know, a lot of parents, they send their kids to school sick because they can't get a babysitter or they have to go to work. So the problem with it is that, it makes it rough because other kids in their classroom may catch whatever that kid has. So I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. So not a big thing. Father's home from the hospital. He went in, I believe it was last Friday. He went into the hospital or Thursday, something like that. He ended up having his gallbladder removed. Apparently, since Thanksgiving, he was having problems that he didn't tell anybody about. He just kind of see we don't when we're in pain and shit like that, we don't make it noticed and we just deal with it. It's not one of those things where we run to the doctor when our fucking toe hurts. Okay. So he kind of put up with it for a while until it got to the point where it was just hurting him so bad on his side he couldn't do shit. And went to the doctor and find out that he had a kind of like a what's that, golf ball size, the diameter of a silver dollar stone in his gallbladder. So that kind of screwed up his kidney a little bit, or kidneys a little bit, to where the levels weren't correct, and he ended up prolonging his stay in the hospital because of this. So, if you feel something that doesn't feel right, maybe you should go to the doctor just to find out what the fuck's going on. Could be a lot worse than what you think it is. So he had his gallbladder removed. He's recovering from that, and he's doing fine now too. So it's kind of like juggling, two sick people right now. But otherwise, I went to the store and I picked up another case of glaze coating. The glaze coating that I was using basically is the same stuff as this. I found that if there is like a little bit at the bottom of the bottles and you try to mix it, it doesn't work very well. It seems to stay tacky. It doesn't want to harden up the way it's supposed to. I thought maybe it was something that I was doing wrong as far as the mixing goes, half and half. No, it's actually what's in the bottle at the bottom. It may have a timer on it as far as how if going bad or something, but yeah. So being on the safe side, I just picked up another case, threw away the old shit. Wasn't much inside. It was only about maybe so much inside these bottles. So it's a gallon size, so whatever. Also, I started working on the fretboard for this guitar too. Couple of things I've noticed with the maple fretboards. All right. This looked like it was natural, didn't have any type of a finish on it when I started doing this. Come to find out that there was a finish, but the finish didn't make the fretboard yellow out like the neck did, like the back of the neck and the sides of the fretboard. I don't know if they used a stain with a tint in it or what they used, but it's kind of like a flat matte finish. The fretboard was the same way, but the fretboard had like a white finish on top of it. So I ended up sanding that off, and it still didn't change the color of the fretboard itself, though. It still had that white look to it. But now the stain that I put on there would start to stick. I was able to stain it and not have it wipe off on me. So now I got the first coat of rub-on poly on there. It's a little bit rough looking, but I'll show it to you anyways. It's a little rough looking right now. I put it on pretty thick. You can see it kind of absorbed into the fretboard a little bit in some spots. But I still have to do a sanding on it and then my next coats. So I did a thick layer first. The sides are nice and straight on the sides, nice and even on the sides. So it's not like all goofy or looking or whatever. I tried to do a burst on it like I did to the body of the guitar. And a lot of you guys said you've never seen this before. And I've tried to look it up as well, and I really couldn't find too much either. I've seen them dyed and stuff, green and orange and shit like that, but never to something like this. So this is kind of new for me as well. But I still have to do a sanding on it once this cures, and then go ahead and apply another coat. So right now it's a little rough, and yeah, but it's looking pretty decent. It came out pretty nice. I'm quite happy with it. So put this back. And then I got the glaze coating for the body. Now, like I said before in a past video about me going over to the music store and having a talk with the guy over there, I said something about showing you what I got for the goodie bag. Well, this is the goodie bag, and it's kind of cute. It's got little music notes on it. You know, it's got horns, a guitar, piano. You know, music store, I guess. So what he ended up doing was basically telling me to go on the shelf, pick up whatever parts that I need for this next build or restore or whatever I'm doing with this, and he ended up putting the shit in a bag and said, "Here." So I said thank you, and you know, it's kind of cool of him. So what did I grab? Got a 3-way switch here, all parts. Picked up an all parts push and pull for the volume control for the humbucker, which is a 500K. Bone nut, again, all parts. And then I picked up, what was this? CTS pot, 500K. And then another CTS pot, 500K, just in case I can't get the push and pull, the switched pot into the body of the guitar. Again, all free, which was kind of cool of him. So he's setting me up with a thing where I can get all parts through him at his cost, not what the consumer would pay. Which that's fine with me, man. And the guy wants to help me out, so you know, I'll let him. Otherwise, that's about it. Everything else is just moving along slowly. That's why you haven't seen anything with it. Again, you know, I'm finding out that this oil stain stuff is kind of a pain in the ass. The glaze coating that I'm going to end up putting on the top of the body is going to be a lot of work. Now, like I said before in past videos that I did the Angel guitar, when I put the glaze coating on it, I finished the top of the body with a oil-based stain. That oil-based stain is going to make the glaze coating act funny. It'll still stick, it'll still cure, it'll still be okay, but it's going to bubble a little bit. So I'm going to end up having to do some sanding on it before putting on, like, say, the last coat of glaze coating on there in order to have a nice, smooth, flat finish on there. Oil base doesn't agree with a lot of stuff, so it's kind of something that I kind of knew, but it can be done. And that's why I went with the glaze coating instead of doing it with the rub-on poly. The glaze coating is a lot stronger, a lot harder, and a lot more durable than the rub-on poly is. By a long shot, it's just a lot durable. And that's what I want to use. So yeah, there we have it. Now, I'm still kind of waiting to hear from Andrew Allen. He's going to be making the pickups for the SOB guitar, and I've already talked to him, and we've already arranged everything. So I'm just waiting for him to make them. I've heard his pickups before. They sound fucking awesome. The guy does great work, and it'll be kind of cool to have a set in my hand to where I'm able to install them on the guitar and hear them in person instead of, you know, headphones, phone, computer speakers, shit like that is not the same quality as if you have it right there in front of you playing. It's a lot different, and a lot of you guys know that, you know, phone quality isn't what, you know, it could be as far as speakers go. Laptop speakers, you know, they're about the same thing as the phone, just not all that great of quality. But again, you know, Andrew does great work, and it'll be pretty cool to see what these things are going to be come out like. That's about it. There's not much more to say. I know I haven't been doing too much lately, and it's because I've been kind of like taking care of things over here a little bit more. You guys take care, have a good one, and I will catch up with you guys later.